Hi, welcome. I won't need the disclaimer of my thoughts and opinions at the beginning of this one because it's a different kind of video. This is a tale of shame, but I do have to make the disclaimer that I swear, just in case, I don't want to upset anybody who doesn't like swearing, and I can't help myself. Right, so basically something happened on Saturday night. Now it's Monday afternoon, 5 o'clock. So I'm hoping that I can get the tale right. Yesterday, I tried numerous times on Facebook to actually tell this tale, and I write like I speak. Do you know what I mean? I like to get the deets in, as many as possible, to paint a complete picture. And I'd be there typing, and my computer would crash. So I'd wait for the computer to load up again, and I'd try again, and it'd crash again. And in the end, I'm like, sod it. I'm just going to do a video tomorrow, so hopefully I'll get it right. Now, my mum, just before we get into this, my mum always used to say, she was foreshadowing. Oh, this is when I was a little girl. You can only take her anywhere twice, once to take her and once to apologise. And I swear that my mum has done this to me because it has been a running theme throughout my life. I get myself in some predicaments, usually because of the old gob. But, like when I'm tiddled, and especially back in the day, in the early 90s when I used to be a raver, did I get myself in some situations. Anyways, so yeah, we went out, me and my friend, right, do you know what, I'm going to take that off. Do you know what, I'm going to leave that on. I've been on there since Saturday night. Oh my God, did I get hammered. Now, Friday night, I spent Friday night just talking to people online. I'd got this scammy dude that video chatted me to prove that he wasn't a scammer, to prove that he was the young man, really not very nice looking young man, to prove that he was this young white guy that he's been pretending that he is. He video chatted me, a black screen, 3 times. Anyways, so I stayed up way too late Friday night, knowing I'd got to go out on Saturday night. Saturday, I was in a mush. Like, I said to my friend when we were getting ready, I'm like, I feel like I've been on a bender. I feel like I've been on drugs for 3 days. Now, I don't do drugs. I don't do drugs, but I have done drugs. So I know what it feels like when you've done drugs. And I just felt off my bloody nut ever before we started drinking. I'm like, tonight is going to get messy. I knew it. I called it on Facebook. I'm like, tonight's going to get messy. And on Friday night, Saturday morning, I had a dream, and I'm like, please don't be foreshadowing. Please don't be. It was foreshadowing. I dreamt I was on a night out, randomly ended up in a nightclub, and it was really quite a good dream, actually. And I'm like, no, I ended up in a nightclub. We won't go into it. That's not the bit we're talking about. It's when we're at the pub. Now, we always go to the same pub. And they've got 2 rooms. The first room you go in is like lit up. It's got pool table. And then at the back, you've got like the party room where it's dark and, like they have a karaoke and whatever. And, like got a dance floor and shit like this. Anyways, we went in and we're like, it's been dead in there all year. Well, say that, I've only been going out for about the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and like that. But it's been really, really quiet. Went there Saturday, rammed. There's a birthday party for this an 80th birthday party for this chap called Mick. Right, let's call him Mick, for 'tis his name, and I'm sure he wouldn't mind. Because, like, how can you differentiate one 80-year-old Mick from, how would you know? Anyways, we went in there and it's like, and there was a lady who'd said, like, you can go in there, but we decided to stay in the pool table room. Turned out to be a stroke of cheeky fortune. The most handsome man alive. Oh my dear sweet Lord. Literally, I'm just sitting there. And my age was makes the change. Anyways, so we're in there, and we're sitting with another friend, and these two geezers are sitting in the corner. Now, there's not a ridiculously large amount of people in this room. There's an older chap and a younger chap, younger than us, but not like young. Anyways, they're sat together with this young lady who looked like, I don't know whether she was a sister, this lad's sister or his girlfriend. Anyway, she sat in the corner. And my friend, yes, girl, I'm talking about you. My friend turns around to us and goes, that's the birthday boy in the corner. The older one, obviously. That's the birthday boy. And I'm like, no fucking way he's 80. Absolutely no way on God's clean earth is that man 80. And she's like, that's him. So me being me, and me feeling out like off planet at the time, and now I've started drinking, I do what I do. Gets up, goes over to wishing him happy birthday. I go over, you Mick? He's like, no. Like, oh, Mick, yeah. I'm like, the birthday boy. You're the birthday boy. She said, you're the birthday. Yeah, I'm the birthday boy. I'm like, red flags. Literally didn't pick up on a damn thing, right? This girl sat in the corner going, right? And the bloke she sat with is going like, yeah, it's his birthday. That's Mick, isn't it, Dad? I'm his son. That's me. That's it. And I'm like, oh, happy birthday, baby. This girl gets up, just fucking up. I'm like, oh, happy birthday, baby. Gave him a birthday cuddle. I'm like, there's no way you look 80. And you know, there's a reason that he didn't look 80. Anyways, right. So we're chatting away, and I'm like, oh, happy birthday. If you had a good birthday, we're doing in there. And he's like, oh, we'll just come out. Like, it's a bit much in there for me. So we've just come for a bit of a breather. I'm like, all right, we're chatting away. They're like, oh, you can come through, you know. Come through there. We're going back in a minute. You can come in there. You're allowed. And I'm like, oh, I might do. He's like, oh, do you do karaoke? And I'm like, oh, I do love a good sing song. And then he said like, oh yeah, I do this song. I can't remember what it were. And he called me by some name. Now I can't remember what it is, but I know it began with a C, right? And he kept calling me by this name. Wouldn't have it that the name would carry on. Like, well, I don't think it was Corinne. I think it was Catherine or Caroline. It's quite. And I had a look at girls' names beginning with C yesterday on Google to see if I could find what name he would call it. I can't bloody remember it. But like I say, it was a bit off-world at the time. Anyways, he said he does this. I bet I'll do better than you. I'm like, right, mate, it is on. It is on. We're having a karaoke off, right, with the birthday boy, right? So I'm there and I'm chatting to him. I'm like, anyway, I better go sit back down with my mate. Went back to my mate. There's no way he looks 80. And she's like, no way he looks 80. He's like, what can you do? I'm missing huge swathes of this out. I know I will be. But as long as we get to the point. Anyway, so I sat back down with my mate. Eventually, these guys got up. Went back through to the other room. They're like, oh, come through. Like, you're welcome. Please come through. And we're like, oh, we will in a minute. They went in. We carry on. She's like, shall we go through for a boogie? Right. Now, bearing in mind, this is a pub. This ain't the biggest building in the bloody world. And it was rammed with this party. They got a bagpipe player and everything. Did you know that the Queen used to be woken up at 9:45 every morning with a bagpipe player playing under her window? I knew that. Fun fact. Don't know how Chuck gets woken up, maybe by the smell of his fingers sizzling in a frying pan. Who knows? So yeah, this is getting dark really bloody quick, isn't it? There you go. That's a bit better. So anyway, so I'm like, yeah. So we got our mate, girl, I'm looking at you. So we got our mate who told us about the birthday boy to look after our bags and our drinks. And we went through and we had a boogie. By invitation. Old people everywhere. There's me and me mate, dressed up to the effing nines, on the dance floor. We bloody owned it. Like, There was this little old lady singing when we went in. Oh my God, she was amazing. So I had to tell her when she finished because gob. Oh God, her voice was amazing. Turns out she was Mick's Mrs. Right? And his wife was girlfriend. I'm sure somebody said girlfriend. Anyways, so I thought I'd been speaking to Mick's son and everything. There was this lovely girl filming this old lady, and I'm talking to her and saying how good she is and everything, and then the music's on. Well, we were dancing to this little old lady singing first, and then some more music came on. We're there, we doing our business. You know what I mean? Like we're on fucking holiday in Magaluf. Do you know what I mean? It's like everybody else. You know. The visuals, the memories. Anyways, right, so we saw Mick and his son by the... and that's another thing he'd said in the other room. He went, my name's not Mick, my name's Jeff. His son's going like, he's got Alzheimer's. So I'm like, oh, does he? So every time he's telling me something different, I'm like, yeah, and it bugger. Like, he's got Alzheimer's. It's like, well, he's 80, he's gonna, right? Anyways, he's at the DJ booth. Went over, said hello. Like, oh, we've come through, lot. He's like, oh, you're gonna go on karaoke, right? Bearing in mind, private party. You know, the people at the private party are going to want to do karaoke, but I've been asked by the birthday boy, haven't I? So I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I'll have a go. Like, and he's like, oh, what are you going to sing? Now, I always, whenever we go in there, I always do A Big Spender at first. That's always my first song. So I says, oh, I'll do A Big Spender. Right? And he's like, go on then. And I'm like, I ain't asking him. It's not my party. It's your party. So he's put his head over the top, like, Jeff, like, A Big Spender. He's like looks over, sees me, knows I always do A Big Spender because he puts it on for me most of the time without me having to ask. And he's like, you doing that? I'm like, yeah, he wants me to do it. And he's like, all right then, Carrie Ann, here you go. Gives me the microphone. I'm like, oh, I'm not Carrie Ann tonight. I'm whatever this name beginning with C that he'd called me was. Not Catherine. Oh, man. Really annoying me. If anybody knows, who's going to know? So, gets my microphone, busts out Hey Big Spender. Round of applause, jobs are good done. All right. Later on in the night. So we carried on, and this girl that was filming, the little old lady, she says, like, you're welcome, go up to the top, there's a buffet, there's cake there. I didn't actually have any food. Thought about it, but didn't. Said thank you and all this, that and the other. Went back through to the other room to see the painting. Oh my God. Carry on. Anyways, right, so we, carried on the night and everything, and eventually we went through there when it had quieted down because it was really busy. Anyways, I was in the toilet or something, and more drinks had flown. Like, this is where I'm going to forget a lot. And I started talking to this lovely lady who is Mick's daughter. And I was just like, oh, can I just ask who your dad is? She pointed out this little old man who was not the man that had invited me through. Little old man dancing, who was obviously 80. Tell you what, that man and his girlfriend / wife, whatever she was, fiance, whatever, they could party. They went to the end, like literally. This dude was up and dancing all night. Massive respect. But it was not the man that had invited me through. And it was not the man who had made me bust out Hey Big Spender to a room full of strangers like I owned the fucking... I was mortified. I was absolutely effing mortified. Now, like when I look back, I'm just there thinking I'm performing for the birthday boy. No, room full of bloody strangers, mate. Room full of bloody strangers who got their own private karaoke going on. In pipes, fucking white Shirley Bassey over it. Just, oh, mate, mortified. Absolutely bloody mortified. So yeah, that's what I got up to Saturday night. What about you? And then I ended up going to a nightclub on my own, on my bloody own. But again, we ain't going to talk about that. I just wanted to share my tale of humiliation. I don't know if there's anything else that I wanted to put on this, but we'll leave it there. Everybody point and laugh at the fall. And like I said at the beginning, that's why my mum always used to say, you can only take her somewhere twice, once to take her and once to apologise. For shame. Take care. Thank you for listening. And I love you all. Bye.